Mr. Moves in at point guard. Inside at the 4 and 5 are Gasol and Noah. Then there's Jimmy Butler.
Boy, how's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting down the court, did he?
And so it's the Cavaliers getting on the board first. Here's Mr. Moves. It's hauled in by LeBron. Here's Mr. Moves. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
Well, nice way there to get your first basket of the game.
And here is Irving. Last time out, he had 44 points. Lee kicks to Irving. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Well, some weak defensive coverage there, and I'm pretty sure they didn't plan on starting this game out like that, giving such easy access to the rim.
Now here's Butler, averaging 14 points a game. Passes it to Mr. Moves. Four on the shot clock. There's the triple, and the shot is good. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Now it's sent it down to Doris Burke, who is able to catch up with Coach Doc Rivers.
One player he said he's worried about in this game is Pau Gasol. He said with his length and touch, it's really hard to bother that shot. We're going to try to be physical with him, body him up early, and deny him position. And guys, that's what a lot of teams try with Gasol. Force him to really battle through contact. We'll see how it works.
Thank you, Doris. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Big time is right, Clark. A lot of momentum here offensively. How about this? They're shooting 80% so far. I know it's early, but offensively, they look great.
Shumpert passes the walls. Irving attacking. And nothing is falling for him right now. Bulls have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Here's Mr. Moves. Again, Chicago.
Very positive opening quarter for them. The shots have been falling.
You know, the shooting percentage would be nice if it stayed right there, but that's going to be tough to do.
In a moment here now to see the numbers for Jimmy Butler. How last month turned out for him. He's averaging 7 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's been held down a little bit lately, as you can see in his relatively average numbers.
I agree with you. It could be time for him to explode. I mean, he doesn't stay average for long. There's always a spurt lurking.
Here's Irving after the made shot for Mr. Moves. James left side. On the mark with the 15-footer.
Looks like he might be on his game today, Clark.
The Bulls leading by 5. Three-pointer. And he hits again from deep. 3 more points for Mr. Moves. Mr. Moves got 11 points. Clark, the coach, was really passionate in that last huddle, trying to do everything he can to get his message across.
You know, and I'm not sure what he wanted exactly, but he did it with enough fire that I'm guessing he's not going to be happy with any lapse in execution. I mean, he made his point pretty clear.
Cleveland shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
Well, impressive free throw shooting as a team this season, right around that 78% mark.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving. Both free throws good for Irving.
You know, he's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line.
Out of bounds, Cleveland will take possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
The Cavaliers trail by 6. From 11 feet away, Joakim Noah grabs the miss.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
The shot's good for Mr. Moves.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
For Cleveland, they've gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Now, here is Irving. Right now averaging 25 points a game. And now it's a double-digit lead. 15 points for Mr. Moves.
They couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Here's Irving, and a wide-open look for James. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. And it's 6 points for LeBron.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it.
They double him with James. And here are the Bulls now. Shot clock at 6. Outside Butler. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls.
Well, they were extremely aggressive defensively early on in that last game, and it kind of backfired on them. Their starters wound up in foul trouble, and I thought that led to the loss.
And so here is Chicago after LeBron James's miss. 1:14 left in the first. Over to the left wing. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. And a miss there on the triple. Over Cleveland, their last game, a win against New York.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have. And what a game for Mr. Moves. He already has 15 points and 1 steal. More than half their points have come from him alone.
Well, he's taken it upon himself to carry the load offensively.
It's his first trip to the line. The first one falls. Both teams deciding to change it up. Both free throws good for Mr. Moves.
Oh my God, I just got that.
50 seconds left here in the opening quarter. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something, you're right. Calderon, no good. Chicago leading by 10. And stolen by James. Kicks it to Smith. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And the Bulls making a change here.
Nice shooting.
For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Taking a look at the Bulls, Mr. Moves, he's in at point guard. Inside at the 4 and 5 are Gasol and Noah. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Now, here is Irving. A solo fast break. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Hey, Kevin, Mr. Moves in that last game against the Celtics really lit up the floor. He finished with 31 points, and part of that scoring came from beyond the arc, adding a few threes to his already impressive season total. His coach said when he gets in the zone like he did, there is no stopping him. Just a dominating display from the star we're accustomed to seeing, Kevin.
Thanks for the great report, Doris. Guys, the way he carried them that night, Clark, I thought was truly incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, he did the work of several players in that game. He really didn't need much support at all.
But they shouldn't count on that type of performance again tonight, Clark. I mean, his teammates need to be prepared to carry a little bit more of the load.
Now, here is Irving. Right side, Irving. On the wing, Shumpert. His first shot coming late. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 4 assists now tonight.
After digging themselves that hole in the first quarter, this club is starting to shoot the ball much better now.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it takes a little while to work out the knots. I mean, they're starting to put it together.
Great look, disappointing result.
You know, most times he knocks that one down.
Prince dishes to Irving. A three-pointer off the mark. The Bulls leading by 5. Here's Mr. Moves, and he makes good on the layup. Mr. Moves got 4 points in the quarter.
Got a lot of momentum going with his own game. It's been great today and just as hot as he was last time out.
Outside Irving. Picked by Lee. The drive by Shumpert. Back to Lee. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
They've set the first half tone by really getting out in transition.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
The Cavaliers making a switch here. James is checked in. He makes 1 of 2 that time. Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against the Celtics in Boston.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
That is good. 6 points for Kyrie Irving.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they've steadied themselves a little bit.
And Cleveland making a change here. The Bulls leading by 6. They double him with Shumpert. The pass to Mr. Moves. Outside Butler. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. 5 to shoot. Jacks up a 3. And he gets it to go. No problem on the 3 for Mr. Moves. Mr. Moves got 26. Cleveland's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Tipped away. Pass to Irving. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Quick hands and the ability to anticipate the opening to create a turnover. So valuable, especially for a guard, as we see 2 tremendous talents with their ability to steal that ball away.
And, of course, you look at the numbers. John Stockton with 3,265 steals over his career. Really a crazy number, averaged over 2 a game, and even in his later years, he was a threat in that regard.
J.R. Smith's checked in for Cleveland. And he can't hit the second.
Well, this is what you have to do when you're trailing. You've got to attack, be aggressive, and get to that foul line.
And perhaps cause some foul trouble along the way. I mean, that can have a big impact down the road.
Makes it 2 points there from Mr. Moves.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
The dish to Irving. A 3. And that one's good. Irving's got 6 in the quarter.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Here's Mr. Moves. It's Chicago with another bucket.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. I mean, just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
And here is Irving. He's got 10. It's rebounded by Noah. Noah's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Mr. Moves. Shot is off. And we've reached halftime in this one. Bulls lead by 9. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, we just witnessed what was an amazing offensive display from this guy in the first half. Where did that scoring explosion come from?
I don't really know. To be honest, I was just looking for chances to get my shot off, and I just happened to find them over and over in the first half. So, I don't know. I'm sure they'll make some adjustments, but until then, I'm just going to keep attacking.
Well done. Thunder up, Kevin.
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.